We'll be starting with other important policies and acts and bills. Now, Jharkhand Solar Energy Policy 2022. This policy has been approved by the State Assembly on 25th of February 2022. Now, under this policy, a target has been set to build 4,000 megawatt solar power capacity in the state in the next 5 years, that is 2022 to 2027. This policy includes floating solar power plant of 900 megawatts capacity and sealed solar power plants of 400 megawatt capacity. Under this policy, opportunities are provided for private sectors for setting up solar power plants in the state. Under this policy, an expenditure of rupees 8,163 crore is estimated for the implementation of the projects till the year 2027. Under this policy, entry fee will be waived off on import of equipment by private company, and the company will be provided exemption in electricity duty for 5 years. Under this policy, JREDA will provide support in providing land for setting up solar power plants. Now, Jharkhand Sports Policy. Under this policy, Jharkhand government will give 2% of horizontal reservations to sports person in government jobs. Under this policy, a provision has been made for players winning gold, rupees 2 crore, rupees 1 crore for silver, and rupees 75 lakhs for bronze in Olympics and Winter Olympics. Jharkhand government has further announced to increase the amount of winners in Olympic Games. That is as follows. Gold will be now given 5 crore rupees. Silver will be awarded 3 crore rupees. Bronze will be given 2 crore rupees, and participants will be given 7 lakh each. Now, impact. Now, some important facts for sports policy. Day boarding or Krida Kishlay Center will be established at block levels, and arrangements for mini stadium will be also made here. 25% and 15% discount in attendance for international and national players studying in school shall be given. Sports ground will be constructed in every panchayat, and there will be trainers and coaches there. Eklavya Sports Academy Center of Excellence will be set up in districts and divisions in which the sport has priority, and selected excellent players will be trained here. A digital database of all players, coaches, and resources in the states will be prepared. Now, Agricultural Produce and Livestock Marketing Bill of 2022. This bill has been brought to promote marketing of agricultural produce and livestock in the state. The main provision of this bill are as follows. Public and private market yards will be established for farmers. License will be provided by the state government for setting up private markets. Farmers will be able to sell their produce as per their wish, which also includes retail sale. In the agricultural market, the buyers will have to pay a cess of rate 2%, while the seller will be tax-free. Agricultural market will be established every 10 kilometers by the state government. Appropriate infrastructure will be constructed for the same. Online marketing facility will be provided to the farmers on e-trading portal. Now, Jharkhand Tourism Policy of 2022. This policy has been announced by Chief Minister Hemant Soren in New Delhi on 24th of July 2022. Under this policy, the state government will provide special facilities to investors on first-come, first-served basis. Under this policy, provisions have been made to provide various types of incentives to investors, which include subsidy on capital investment of up to 25% of the investment amount, or up to a maximum of rupees 10 crore. Up to 75% rebate in state GST for 5 years, exemption in stamp duty and electricity charges for 5 years, special provisions in policy for scheduled tribes, scheduled caste, women and disabled, single window system for investment and promotion, beautification of religious tourist places and increase in civic facilities. Now, promotion of ecotourism, under which Latehar, Netarhat, Betla, Chandil, Dalma, Mirchia, Getal Sood are being developed as eco circuits. Food festivals, interstate cultural programs, etc. will be organized to showcase the glorious culture of the state. Promotion of adventure tourism in states like paragliding, mountaineering, water sports, etc. For water sports in the state, Tilaiya, Chandil, Mandsaur, Getal Sood, Patratu, Kake, Hatia, Khelgha Dam are being developed. A target of direct employment of 20,000 local youth, Jharkhand Pharmaceutical Policy of 2021. A target of direct employment of 20,000 local youth through Lakshya Pharma industry and an investment of rupees 2,000 crore have been set. The key points in the policies are as follow. Through this policy, investors will be provided 50% subsidy on land to develop the state as a pharmaceutical hub, facility to pay the land price in 10 equal installments over a period of 5 years. Investors will be given 25% incentive on capital investment. Interest subsidy will be given by the state government on taking loans from bank. Extra 5% benefit will be given to women and disabled people belonging to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes communities of the state. Now, Jharkhand Startup Policy of 2021. This bill has been passed to encourage startups in the state. The key point of this policy are as follows. Under this policy, entrepreneurs will be given an incentive of 15,000 rupees as stipend by the state government to start the startup. As per this policy, rupees 17,000 will be given to scheduled tribes, scheduled caste, women and disabled persons every month. Under this startup policy implemented in the year 2016, this amount was 8,000 rupees. Now, mob lynching and mob violence bill of 2021. This bill against lynching, that is mob violence, was passed on 21st of December. The following activities have been included under this: violence by two or more people, boycott a person or a business, expel the person out from a place where he or she resides permanently, disregard of public service including education, health, drinking water, transportation, depriving or threatening to deprive any person of fundamental rights, violence based on status or political affiliation, religion, caste, sex, place of birth, language, diet, behavior, gender, etc. Now, after Manipur, Rajasthan, and West Bengal, Jharkhand is the fourth state in the country to make law against mob lynching. Provisions of punishment in case of mob lynching: 1 to 5 years imprisonment with a fine of rupees 1 to 3 lakh. For harassing the victim, imprisonment up to 10 years or fine up to 10 lakh rupees. If the victim dies during mob lynching, life imprisonment and a fine ranging from rupees 5 to 25 lakh rupees. The fine amount received from the guilty person can be used for the treatment of the victim. Now, employment of local candidates in private sector bill 2021. This shall not be considered because the Haryana government passed a similar law which was struck down by the High Court. Nevertheless, we'll just see what the provisions were. It was supposed to give 75% reservation to local candidates and jobs of rupees 4,000 per month or less. In case an employer violates the rule, a penalty of rupees 5 lakhs can be imposed. Now, enterprises as defined in Section 2D of the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Act of 2006, undertaking definitions in IDRA 1951, firm defined under Societies Act of 1960s, or Limited Liability Partnership Act of 2008. An organization of persons engaged in manufacturing or providing services where 10 or more persons are employed on salary, wages, or other remuneration. Organizations working with help of outsourcing in central or state government undertakings. Now, after Andhra Pradesh and Haryana, Jharkhand is the third state where local candidates are employed in private sector of the concerned state. So this Haryana government bill was struck down. So it is now but natural that Jharkhand government is also struck down. Now, Jharkhand Municipality Amendment Bill of 2021. With the passing of the bill, independents, locals, and common citizens will be represented in Jharkhand municipality. It empowers the state government to remove municipal mayors. The election of the mayors and deputy mayors will be done by majority vote of the elected councillors. So, indirect election. Now, Panchayati Raj Amendment Bill of 2021. Due to this bill, if panchayat elections cannot be held due to corona, the state government will be able to take a decision in implementing its relation to Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti, and Zilla Panchayat for a period of more than 6 months or till elections are held. The tenure of executive committee was extended till the next election. Now, Jharkhand Finance Bill of 2021. In name of Jharkhand Finance Bill, amendment was introduced in Indian Stamp Duty Act 1899 and Bihar Entertainment Duty Court Fee Stamp Act 1948. To increase revenue collection, a provision has been made to increase the stamp duty of various works. Also, under the Bihar Entertainment Duty Court Fee Stamp Act, there is a provision to abolish 110% additional surcharges. Now, Jharkhand Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Amendment Bill of 2021. In this bill, the debt collection limit of the state government will be up to 4% of the gross state domestic product for the year 2021-22 and up to 3.5% for the financial year 2022-23 and 3% for the year 2023-24, 24-25 and 25-26. So 3% is the present limit. Now, along with this, fiscal deficit for these 4 financial years will be limited to an additional 0.5% of estimated gross state domestic product, subject to conditions of reforms in power sector. Now, Jharkhand State Open University Bill of 2021. An open university will be established in Jharkhand for distance learning. Its headquarters will be in Ranchi. With establishment of this university, those whose headquarters are situated outside the state shall discontinue in distance education program within a year of 1 year from the date of act will come into force. Failure to do so will render the continuation of the said programs by such universities unauthorized. The state government will give a lump sum amount for the establishment of this university, after which the university will be operated at its own expense. The Vice Chancellor of the university will be appointed on the recommendation of a selection committee of 5 members selected by the governor. The qualification of the Vice Chancellor will be 10 years experience as a professor or 10 years experience as working as an academic administrative in any reputed organization, research institute or equivalent. Now, selection committee members. The person nominated by governor will be an educationalist of national repute. Director or Vice Chancellor of an institute of national repute will be nominated by the governor. The senior most serving Vice Chancellor of Jharkhand State University will be nominated by the governor. Vice Chancellor of Indira Gandhi National Open University in his absence. Vice Chancellor of any state open university. Principal Secretary of Higher Education Departments. Jharkhand Sports Policy of 2020. Jharkhand Sports Policy have been announced on December 29, 2020. The main objective of this policy is to encourage sports in the state. Important provisions have been made for state players, coaches, obligations of sports at school level, cash prizes for players for winning medals, awards to coaches, reverence and pensions to old players of the state, priority to differently abled players, etc. Jaipal Singh Munda Award will be given to encourage players and coaches of the state. Physical education and sports will be made compulsory in curriculum from primary to senior secondary level in all government and private schools. Talented players will be given special training in school premises to make them excellent players. At least 1 hour will be earmarked for physical activities and sports in all government and private schools. Sports will be developed in colleges and universities. At least one school which has a playground or stadium will be identified in each Vidhan Sabha of a state. Proper sports facilities will be made available in it, and it will be developed as a rural sports center. Now, for rural sports centers, a Khel Mitra will be appointed on contract for 2 years, which will encourage the people of rural areas to participate in their favorite sports. Sports academy and sports universities will be established in the state. Sports university will be started in mega sports complexes of the state. Center of excellence will be established in state for high priority sports in which training will be given to players. The players will be selected according to the criteria as fixed by the Directorate of Sports from time to time. These players will be provided with free accommodation, boarding, sports kits, sports equipment, competition philosophy, and support of nutritionist and medical aid. Every year, sports talent search will be organized by Directorate of Sports. Now, provision for disabled, providing equal opportunities to disabled players. A district level stadium will be provided for them, and cash prizes will also be given on winning medals. Provisions for grants to sports association. Funding will be provided by state government only to sports associations recognized by sports department. It will be mandatory for sports associations to be registered under the Societies Act. A maximum amount of rupees 1 crore rupees will be provided as a grant for organizing events at international level. Out of this, 50% amount will be given immediately and 50% will be given after getting the audit report. Grant will also be provided for organizing other sports. Now, prize money in Olympic Games, gold medal, this has been increased. Prize money for World Cup or World Championship, gold medal 2 million rupees, silver medal 1.5 million, and bronze medal 1 million. Now, tourism policy of Jharkhand 2020. This policy has been prepared on the lines of Tourism Policy 2015. The objectives of this policy is to establish Jharkhand as an essential destination on tourism map of India. In this policy, a target has been set to create 75,000 jobs in tourism sector. Under this policy, a subsidy of 30% of invested capital or a maximum 10 crore rupees will be provided to the investors. An additional subsidy of 5% will be provided to the investor for investing in scheduled areas. A discount of 30% will be given in electricity rates on starting tourism units in the state. Interest subvention of 50% or up to a maximum of 25 lakh for 5 years will be provided on loan taken by investors for setting up tourism units. The new tourism unit will be given 75% exemption in payment of state goods and services tax and up to 2% exemption in state stamp duty for 5 years. Now, other things, Parasnath Development Authority will be established for management of Madhuban and Parasnath. Itkori and Pasukinath will be developed in lines of Deoghar. Ecological circuits like Latihar, Netarhat, Chandil, Betla, Dalma, Mirchia, Getalsooth will be developed. Special emphasis will be given on development of Netarhat. Integrated tribal complex will be developed so that tribes' culture can be displayed. Rural tourism committee will be formed. Adventure tourism institutes will be established to provide training to local youth. Film cities will be established in state and a subsidy of 15% will be provided on total cost of film production if the shooting of any film takes place in the state. Now, CSR policy of Jharkhand 2020. This is Jharkhand's first corporate social responsibility policy. This policy has been announced on February 4th, 2021. Objectives of this policy to create a suitable environment for attracting CSR investment in state and adopt best management practice to meet various development challenges, to build partnership between state government and corporate and civil societies and to facilitate their priorities and activities, to coordinate the scheme as run by central state government and to create a transparent environment for proper use of resources, framework for proper implementation of CSR activities and effective utilization of CSR fund, prioritizing CSR projects to generate sustainable and long-lasting impact on community and environment. Now, sources of CSR: private and public corporate, public sector undertaking, individual and other units. Corporates may engage in CSR activities in direct partnership with government or through non-profit foundations or through any other non-government organization or in collaboration with other corporates. Other facts: CSR funds will be allowed at two levels, that is, level 1 by CSR committee constituted under chairmanship of Deputy Commissioner. At this stage, permission for small amount of funds can be granted. Now, level 2 by the government body executive council. Funds of higher amount will be allowed at this stage. At this stage, CSR amount will be decided by industries department. A CSR portal will be operated so that this policy can be implemented effectively and transparently. A Jharkhand CSR authority will be constituted. With the formation of this authority, the earlier constituted Jharkhand CSR Council will be automatically dissolved. Now, the structure of the CSR authority: the Chief Minister will be the chairman, Industry Secretary will be the CEO, and Planning cum Finance Secretary, School Education, Health, Medical Education, Rural Development, Labor Planning will be member, and Director of Industry will be member secretary, and Consultant Officer Department will be still nominated. And these are to be invited, that is CII, FICCI, ASSOCHAM, etc. Now, Jharkhand Alcohol Prohibition Policy 2016. In the year 2016, the following provisions have been made while implementing the prohibition policy in the state. All liquor bottles will be compulsorily marked as drinking alcohol is injurious to health. Sale of liquor of person under the age of 21 is prohibited. The promotion and dissemination of liquor has been banned in the state. Opening of liquor shops has been banned in scheduled gram panchayats with more than 50% of scheduled tribes population. Pachwai shops will not be settled in state and its retail sale has been banned. Only on the occasion of tribal festivals and social programs there will be exemption to manufacture and keep Pachwai in limited quantities. August 15, 26 January, Gandhi Jayanti, Ram Navami, Dashera, Holi, Eid, Muharram, etc. have been declared dry day in the state, and sale of liquor will be banned on this day. Jharkhand State Startup Policy of 2016. The Jharkhand State Startup Policy has been announced by the state government on October 6, 2016. Its main objective is to include Jharkhand among the leading states in the field of startups by 2021. For this, the government has set up a target of providing suitable environment for innovation. Under this policy, a target has been set up to work on 1,000 general startups and 1,500 imagination-based startups. A target has been set up to set up an incubation center under the startup in an area of 1 lakh square feet. Under this, a grant of rupees 5 lakh each will be provided to 10 prestigious institutions of the states to open incubation centers. Every educational institute will get this amount for 5 years. In the coming 5 years, Information and Technology Department has been set a target of arranging rupees 250 crore for this. Funds will also be arranged on the basis of public and private partnership. Jharkhand Textile, Apparel and Footwear Policy of 2016. The textile sector has been identified as a special sector in Jharkhand as per Jharkhand Industrial and Promotion Policy of 2016. Under this, Jharkhand Textile, Apparel and Footwear Policy 2016 has been prepared. Jharkhand has registered significant growth in silk sector, and Jharkhand is the second largest producer of Tassar silk in the country. About 40% of the country's total Tassar silk is produced here. Tassar silk produced in Jharkhand is known globally due to its quality and is widely demanded in developed countries like America, Britain, Germany and France. Jharkhand Silk Textile Handicraft Development Authority, that is Jharcraft, was formed in year 2006 by the state government with the objective of promoting design, training, entrepreneurship, marketing and production of silk. Under this policy, aid is being provided by employment to about 2 lakh silkworm rearers, spinners, weavers and craftsmen in the state. Jharcraft is also operating in 18 outlets in different cities of the state as well as in the country. Prominent outlets are in Ranchi, Delhi, Calcutta, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, and Mumbai. Jharkhand is the leading state in the country in silk production as well as in the production of cotton yarn and handloom items. In this perspective, serious efforts are being made to encourage cotton wool weaving, handloom cloth weaving, and wool and silk yarn in the state. Ranchi, Latear, Palamu, Ramgarh, Dhanbad, Bokaro, Godda, Pakur, Sahibganj, Khuti are the main districts of manufacturing such items. The state government has established Rajnagar, that is Saraikela Khasarwan, and Irba in Ranchi as silk park and mega textile parks at Deoghar, Dumka, Sahibganj, Godda, Pakur, Jamtara districts have been included in the mega handloom cluster scheme by Government of India. So there's one scheme for the Government of India and nevertheless, the objectives of the textile apparel and footwear policy of 2016 of the government of Jharkhand are as follows: to achieve high level and sustainable growth rate in overall textile sector, strengthening the value chain of the textile sector, to encourage spinning mills of the cooperative sector for the betterment, strengthening of power loom sector by modernizing it so that they can manufacture quality garments, to promote its quality design and marketing by making good use of information technology in textile production sector, import switch, liberalization of rules related to regulation of textile industries so as to make this sector more competitive, creating skilled workers and 5 lakh jobs opportunities in this sector under this policy. Now, Jharkhand Affordable Housing 2016, under this policy has been formulated in 2016 following Housing for All under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban by central government. The main objective of this policy is to create an enabling environment to provide affordable housing for all families in the urban area. Under this policy, emphasis will be laid on public-private partnership to overcome the shortage of housing. Under this scheme, weaker section of societies like SC, ST, OBCs, minorities as well as senior citizens and Divyangs will be targeted. Under this policy, housing will be reserved for LIG of EWS and in colonies to be built by public-private partnership and private developers. Minimum 10% housing in 4,000 square meters colonies and minimum 15% in 3,000 square meter colonies will be reserved for weaker section. Land will be made available by the government for colonies built under public-private partnership. Colonies will be constructed on 65% of the total available land and commercial complexes will be constructed on 35%. In colonies constructed in such a way, 50% will be reserved for weaker section. Centre will provide an aid of up to rupees 1 lakh for rehabilitation of slums. Under this policy, cooperative societies with 100 members will be able to build residential colonies for the members on government subsidized land. Under this policy, houses of 300 square feet will be provided for the most vulnerable section with an annual income of rupees 3 lakhs and 600 square feet for low income groups with an annual income of rupees 3 to 6 lakhs. Under this policy, housing will be made available in urban areas at a rate of rupees 1200 per square feet. A loan of rupees 6 lakhs will be made available for 15 years to persons belonging to LIG category of EWS. For the purchase of houses, interest will be charged on this at the rate of 6.5 per annum. For the construction of individual houses, a grant of rupees 1.5 lakh will be provided by the centre and rupees 25,000 per beneficiary from state government. The distribution of houses will be done through lottery. Jharkhand Electronics Design and Manufacturing Policy of 2016. Objectives of this policy to make this sector competitive, keeping in view with national and international demand, creating a chain for supply of raw materials and equipment, to ensure Jharkhand's participation in export of electronics components to 2 billion by 2020, to develop minimum 50 related units in the state in the next 10 years, to train human resources for the development of this industry, to manufacture adequate equipment to meet rural needs. Government strategy. Now, ESDM Innovation Hub will be set up on a minimum of 200 square acres of land in Ranchi, Jamshedpur and Dhanbad. Financial grants will be provided by to companies using local raw materials. The availability of land will be ensured to the investors as per their requirement. Basic facilities like road, electricity, water, etc. will be developed by government. Now, grants given by the government, maximum 20% grant will be given on total capital cost. Income tax exemption will be given to all ESDM units for 5 years. All ESDM units will be given exemption in the stamp duty, transfer tax, and registration tax. 50% exemption in commercial tax will be given by ESDM units on bringing raw materials from abroad. Solar power plants will be given relief from electricity tax for 10 years. Rebate in electricity tax will be given to residential and consumers for using rooftop solar technology. Now, Jharkhand BPO and BPM policy of 2016. Policy targets to develop the state as an overall priority state in BPO and BPM sector so that new employment opportunities can be created for the purpose of the state. Now, policy objective to provide employment to 15,000 people by the year 2021 with the help of BPO BPM operating in the districts of the state. To encourage the establishment of BPO and BPM units in urban and rural areas of all districts. Development of infrastructure facilities in small towns to encourage IT and ITE services. Now, strategy and the policy. Subsidy and incentives will be provided to BPO and BPM and related activities listed under this policy. Incentive related to the land cost. Employees who are residents of Jharkhand or have studied above 10th class from Jharkhand will be reimbursed the cost of land at a rate of 30,000. Capital investment. For 5 years in A type cities, 7 years in B type cities, and 9 years in C type cities. Subsidy incentives and repayment up to a maximum of rupees 1 lakh per seat will be made. Executive payment incentive. BPO and BPM units will be reimbursed on lease or rent up to a maximum of rupees 15,000 per seat for 3 years. Following this, 100% will be reimbursed in the first year, 75 in the second year, and 50% in the third year. Now, other incentives. 50% of telecom cost will be reimbursed for 3 years, subject to a maximum of rupees 30,000 per seat per year. 50% of the cost of internet broadband will be reimbursed, subject to a maximum of rupees 40,000 per year per seat. Up to 50% of the solar power cost will be reimbursed. BPO and BPM units will be given reimbursement of electricity charges for 3 years. The cost of training will be reimbursed at a rate of 4,000 per month. The reimbursement will be done per person for 3 months. Reimbursement up to 2 lakh will be given to participants in national level exhibition. BPO BPM professionals will be given a contribution of rupees 500 in EPF for 3 years. BPO BPM units will be provided assistance of rupees 10,000 per employee for the first time to help them in planning. Additional assistance of rupees 500 will be given to disabled employees. That'll be all for this video. We'll be covering the rest of the policies from 2015 in the next video.